So it seems we're basically watching escape each other. Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. This is my review for SWV and Escape and the Queens of R&B. Listen, this is season 1, episode 4. It truly, like, I feel like at this point, we're literally watching Escape break up. We're literally watching them break up, which is the normal. The last time they were on reality TV on Bravo, they basically, Candy went about her way, but we always knew Candy wasn't completely leaving the group. We knew Candy just wasn't going to participate in what they were doing. But I don't know about this part right here. It looks like we're literally watching the group, like Latasha's going, and I don't see her coming back. At this point, she's shooting herself in the foot, if you would, because Candy went and they saw that they could actually do things without Candy. They can do things without Candy. But Candy has such a wealth of connections that it would not be in their best interest to not have any dealings with Candy at any point. Had it not be for Candy, they wouldn't be on Bravo. Okay. So Candy really has a part to play here. I was thinking Latasha really has a part to play here too, because really and truly Latasha has been the sound of Escape. But we saw something a little different here. Told you, I got some emails and different things, and I've seen Tamika doing Latasha's part in real time of some of the songs. And I have to correct myself. Escape don't really need Latasha. And it showed on this episode. We actually see them in a rehearsal toward the end of the episode. And Tamika is singing Latasha's parts. And Latasha, you don't have much to fight with. I'll give you a prime example. In Vogue. Remember Dawn did all that she did in Vogue, and then Dawn left in Vogue, and in Vogue moved forward and never looked back. Never looked back. They never looked back. They went on without her. Went right on about their business without her. And then Maxine pulled her stunt. They replaced Maxine and moved right on. See, that's when you actually have a group where everybody can sing, because in Vogue, everybody can do leads. Every last one of them is just as bad as the other one. And for a long time, we knew Dawn as the lead. Whoever knew that Cindy could do all Dawn's parts, but she damn sure can, and she damn sure has been for now, 15 years or so? Never look back. I've seen them actually pair up with her one more time, and she came back and did some stuff. Her and Maxine came back and did some stuff. But when they got done with that little show they was doing, the three, the new girl and Cindy and Terry, went right on back on the road and they got albums and everything else. They never look back. Latasha, this is what I see going on with you girl. And trust me, from what I'm seeing in real time and what I'm seeing on the show, baby, that little gospel thing you got going on, I think it's safe to say, girl, you're not going to be the next Kiera Clark Sheard. I just don't see you busting open the gospel market like that. I just don't see it. Now, if you do, I'll come back. I'll make another video and say, you know what, girl, I was wrong. I don't think I'll ever have to make that video, though. Anyway, let's go to the show. Taj and Coco. I'm so messy. That was so messy. It was so messy, and I ain't taking it back. Anyway, Taj and Coco get together. Look, Coco, I told y'all, is messy. Coco is Coco always ready for an internet fight, Eddie. An internet fight, a reality TV fight. Coco is with the shits, okay? Coco is ready to fight it out. I ain't opening for them. They done got on my nerves already. I'm like, Coco, chill. Anyway, that's all I got out of that scene is that Coco is sitting on go. Come on, Coco. Anyway, moving on. Lily sat with the manager, and she's really, I thought she was just mentioning it, but no, she's really excited about the many faces of Sister Plus. Sonny, I said, okay. So she's really enjoying this whole thing of writing. I understand. I've been there. It's something it's yours. It's yours. It's personal. Writing is like that. It's real cathartic, and it's just something that's yours. It's yours. It's something that I would even reach out and say that people can't really help you with. It's yours. It's your interpretation of what you want to put out, and it's yours. Period. It's very, very personal when you're writing. So she is really in it, and I think she wants to be the next Zane. Listen, those are big shoes to fill, but why not? Go for it. Go for it. I'm laughing at how she's like that. She basically is kind of a prude. She says she's kind of a prude, but you want to write these really salacious, high erotica books. But why not? It's all about imagination. So we'll just get to see how far and how vast your imagination is, honey. Use your imagination. Use your imagination, girl. And then look, go try out some of the stuff. You ain't heard it from me though. Moving on. Taj ends up sitting down with Tamika. And speaking of somebody really walking into something and really being excited, is Tamika in this creative process. So we actually hear here that was Latasha's spot. This is what Latasha usually does. She was really hands-on with putting the show together and the song lists and all of that. I didn't know that. I knew her and Candy did like the song choices for their concerts, but I didn't know she was the one that did all of the, the stage stuff and all of that. But that was her lane. So she's actually getting her voice heard, and she's really excited about that. And look, I'm excited for her. Every time she comes on screen and starts talking about this creative stuff, I'm here for it. Speaking of that, they moved on. They had this whole meeting at Taj's room. Child, that food. They kiki and laughed on her. Girl, don't ever put her in charge of the food, honey. She had them like 2-3 slices of lunch meat, honey. Talking about we having a little lunch, and no, y'all not. No, y'all not. Y'all ain't even. There wasn't even enough for one of them to make a sandwich. I said, Taj, what are you doing? That was a mess. They clowned her good, honey. Anyway, that was terrible. But they were sitting there, and they brought Tamika brought Steven with her, and they really got into some of what her ideas was. Of course, she was doing the most. Tamika was doing the most. Talking about horses and all. She kept bringing it up. We had these horses, and I'm like, okay, I'm like, what does horses got to do with anything? But I remember that SWV actually did have the video. Was that for Rain, or was that for one of them videos? They had those horses. They were riding these horses. But, child, well, that's my own. Child, I don't care about no horse, child. Horse ain't nothing but a big dog, honey. Nobody bring no horse to no damn concert, girl. Get out of here. Anyway, that's like that horse that Beyonce sitting on, that whole bejeweled and bedazzled horse. Now that's the shit. But an actual big old stinking ass horse trotting somewhere at a concert, girl, bye. Anyway, what are we having? A hoedown, honey? Stop it. Anyway, but I'm here for her creative. She's being very creative, and she's enjoying herself. Tasha ends up coming in, and they're talking, and Coco jump in because Coco's on go, and Coco's like, before we do all of this, let's talk about this whole thing of the billing. How we doing this? Latasha comes to life. Now she's gonna speak up for the group. Okay. And that wasn't nothing but Tasha over and undercutting Candy as usual. It's always a competition between Tasha and Candy. That was Candy's piece of the puzzle, was to fight about the billing. Tasha just overrode Candy and basically said, listen, we're going to do the co-billing, co-headlining, whatever. So Candy was feeling a kind of way, but listen, Candy, for the greater good, and I get it. I got a lot of comments. We talked a lot in the comments this past week in my last video about, putting the butts in the seats. And I agree. I definitely do agree. I agree. But here's my point. Who will be the loser? If this doesn't happen, who's the loser? Xscape or SWV? Even if it's not so many butts in the seat. SWV has nothing to lose. Xscape has everything to lose. Yes, Xscape has some dates, but SWV got a whole thing going. They got the well-oiled machine at this point as far as the touring thing. So, just for this right here, just suck it up and let's go. Suck it up and let's go. And just kind of, you got to give some to get some. That's where I'm at. I mean, I do agree that Candy and Tiny really do have, as I call them, Bravo Candy and VH1 Tiny, have more of a reach to people that could potentially put butts in the seat. But SWV are already putting butts in the seats. They're already doing it. Xscape, you had a nice little run, but SWV's been doing it for a couple years now. So I don't know who loses. SWV got bookings waiting, contingent upon whether or not they're going to do it. Xscape doesn't. So I still stand with go on and do it and hush about that. But anyway, Latasha, speaking up, was nothing more than her undercutting and overcutting Candy, as usual. And then why you want to speak up now all of a sudden? Now you want to speak up. Just, girl, you're just messy. You're messy. And you're being a chaos demon is what you're doing. Then she gets in this thing. She gets to feel in some kind of way about Tamika and Steven working on the creative. She's like, you want to take that from me. She in that confessional. You want to take that from me? You might as well just go ahead and take it from me. And you already took the sisterhood. She losing her mind. You already took the sisterhood. It takes two sisters, at least two sisters, to have a sisterhood. So how could she take the sisterhood? What, is Steven now her sister? Huh? What are you saying? You sound crazy. You just jealous-hearted and you nasty. She is just like a little condescending chaos demon. I'm like, again, I'm sitting there, we're watching as she makes excuses for her behavior. You leaving. You get ready to do them wrong. And you're trying to make yourself right. It's only right because it's what you want to do. It's your Pennsylvania privilege to do whatever it is you want to do, Tasha. Just go do it. Stop all this playing and all this. That's the stuff. All this playing and holding up plans. If you leave and leave. If you leave and leave. Moving on. Candy, Tasha, Coco, and Jalen. Tamika, sorry. Candy, Tamika, Coco. No, it was Candy, Tasha, Jalen, and Coco come and they were working on the list of the songs. They went to Candy's studio and they're working on a list of the songs for the show. And I need somebody to tell me, why is the Chaos Demon even here? Why does she even come? Because when they kept asking things, she's like, I don't know about that. Then when they said, okay, well, what do you think? Why? I really haven't even given this any thought. Huh? She's just showing up at some things. She's not even showing up at everything. She's showing up at some things to bring dissension and chaos. Why are you even here? Why are you even here? And then this whole thing, Coco's getting on my nerves trying to deter Jalen. It just comes off so hypocritical. Like, I get it. I understand the fears that you have. I understand the cautionary tale you're trying to tell. I understand all of that. But you sitting up, going on tour, singing, and always screaming about the 30 million records that you sold, and then telling him not to get into business just seems so hypocritical to me. So hypocritical. And the message ain't never going to come right from you. And then you're trying to drag other people in on it. You know, everybody he knows, you want them to push that message. And they all in the business. They all sound like hypocrites. Everybody that's, oh no, go be a dentist. It would be different if he couldn't sing. If he couldn't sing and you were taking that stance, I would say yes. But he actually has the talent to actually do it. Anyway, it comes across very hypocritical, and it's starting to get on my nerves. It's starting to get on my nerves. And that's, again, being a creative person who has gone through somebody trying to hold my creativity at bay. I don't like it. I don't like it. And watching it week to week is starting to really irritate me. Yeah, listen, that's my thing. I'm triggered. You know, it's everybody's favorite word these days. Honey, y'all are triggering me, honey. Anyway, moving on. So then we have this meeting with Steven, Taj, and Tamika. And they're going through some of the ideas, and he's put some movement to things, and he's showing them some stuff and all of this, and they're starting talking about budget. Honey, and this is where, come on, Tamika, this is time for your crash course in doing this. The budget, baby, you have to stay with the budget. Honey, she ain't got no budget in mind. She just popping off ideas, which I understand. I get it. And girl, look, cut it with the horses, child. Cut it with the horses. Then she, Taj says something about, girl, the way you going, we'll be able to do a GoFundMe for the budget. And she's like, child, we ain't gonna go five. I said, child, it's terrible how GoFundMe is a business that started off as a good thing. It has such a bad name nowadays. As soon as you hear, there's such a negative connotation to GoFundMe that I think is sickening. It literally did start off as a good thing, but people being sideways and scamming and carrying on has literally turned GoFundMe into a whole negative. As soon as you hear GoFundMe, it's a snicker and a kiki. It's, when people think of giving to a GoFundMe, people are like, and that's terrible. I'm soapboxing, but I think it's terrible because it didn't start off like that. It started off as really a good thing. People like to help people. We do. As people, there's more people who are good. I think I'd say takes 50% of everything in the world. There's half of this and half of that. But I think there's more people in the world who have a giving spirit, who like to help their fellow man along. But there's a lot of scam. And there's a lot of scamstresses and scamsters that hang around. I think it is sickening as to how the GoFundMe thing is now. When you hear it, you just be like, and your the little hairs on your arms sticks up when you hear GoFundMe, like, hey, my money. You know what I mean? That's just terrible. I just felt like getting that out. Anyway, is what it is. Tell me what you think about that. When you hear GoFundMe, do you have negative thoughts nowadays, or is that just me? Put it in the comments. When you hear GoFundMe these days, are you overcome with negative thoughts, or are you still in your giving spirit when you hear GoFundMe, or do you start questioning things? All right, down off my soapbox, but boom, boom, bam, and I'm back. Let's go. All right, Dawn, Juan, and Candy sit together and basically do what they do. They're talking about Tasha. It's the whole, here we go again with Tasha. this is all deja vu of what she did before when she was going solo again. So again, we've seen this. I don't know. We're watching the dissolve of Tasha's connection with Escape. And do y'all think that she'll make it back? I don't. I think that once this is done, I don't think if her gospel thing don't work out, she want to come back to Escape. Do you think they would actually take her back after this round? For me, they'd be crazy because I wouldn't be bothered. I just couldn't be bothered. I really couldn't. I couldn't be bothered with it. It's been going on so long. Anyway, moving on. Taj, Coco, and Jalen get together. And again, like I said, here we go. Everybody that you bring to the table to try to talk Jalen out of this music thing. Coming from Taj, sorry, wrong person delivering because she's going on tour with you. And the T is Jalen probably can out-sing Taj. More shade. That's shit. Y'all know I like Taj. But sorry, Taj, girl, I had to do it. It's the truth. Jalen probably can out-sing Taj. So it really don't have the right effect coming from Taj. So, yeah. Well, she started up with that whole thing about the dentist. I was like, girl, please. Stop. Just don't work. It doesn't work. Anyway, moving on. He was talking about, him having therapy. He had been in therapy and there was some mental health stuff. His mental health wasn't good when he was at school and he was suffering depression. He was miserable. He's not a person that can be miserable. Obviously, that's just his balance don't work with him doing things that he don't really want to do. Now, some things are just life, but this ain't. He ain't got to be no dentist. He don't have to be a dentist. The world don't say Jalen got to be a dentist. Jalen needs to stay. I'm going to say this right now. Jalen needs to stay in therapy because the music business is tough. It's tough. And you're going to have to go through some things. So you need to keep your therapist on speed dial. But I'm still here for him giving it a try, because if he doesn't give it a try, he's going to always be depressed. He's going to always be anxious about it. It's going to always be a problem. He got to go through it, and she cannot live it for him. He has to try. That's just all that's to it, period, as far as I'm concerned. Moving on. They had this rehearsal. Tasha, Escape was having a rehearsal. Tasha just ain't show up. They got a show that they're getting ready for. She don't show up. Then the girl comment about their road manager, talking about she not going to show up for the sound check either. Tiny finally speaks up. This is ridiculous. Not Tiny, I'm sorry. Candy speaks up and says, this is ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, she don't think enough of us to even show up for rehearsal. And she says she's like, she Diana Ross and Weird and Supreme. She said, no, even better yet, she's glad it's night. We the goddamn pimps. I said, there you go. Now there you go. And Tamika was saying, usually I would jump in here and tell Candy get up off my sister's back, but my sister wrong. Yes, your sister is wrong. She absolutely is wrong. And here's the thing. At the same time, we're showing this simultaneous thing. She's over there signing her deal, her and Rocky. She's signing her deal with the other company. And he asked her, what does this mean for Escape? And she basically is like, the hell with him. Like, I'm pretty much done with him. I'm done with him. Like I said, in that rehearsal, Candy put it down and said, listen, Tiny and Tamika, y'all need to be rehearsing her parts, because we done a show without her before, and we not getting ready to sit here and play this game. And that's when we got to actually see her on, and Miss Tamika was singing. She's singing her sister's parts. Is what it is. And this is the bad part. The bad part is there's a small, tiny spot that we saw. And Tamika, you were really happy with doing so. You see, you and y'all got some old nasty piece of unfinished home business, and you took some solace in the fact that you could sing your sister's part, and it was a big F you to your sister, you know. But that's y'all's own personal little thing. But Rocky and Tasha, that's just dumb. That just is it just, I don't know. I was like, this is just crazy. All them two irritate me real bad. And here's the thing. Go on and leave the group. But I can't imagine that y'all don't have anything in place where y'all could just sue Tasha. Tasha, like she's stiffing y'all on these different little things. I'm sure y'all should have something in place where y'all could sue her. Because see, when Candy just didn't want to go. She didn't want to do that album with them, and she didn't go on to the piece of the tour with them with that new album. So there was no obligations broken. Candy's smart when it comes to her business and her money. She ain't letting you out her money. But this stuff right here, where they got bookings that are already booked, and Tasha doing all of this kind of carrying on and all of this, and if she just leaves abruptly, I'm sure y'all got something in place where y'all will just sue her. And that to me looks like when you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. The stupid prize would be the subpoena. Because do you think that gospel situation you got is going to take up the legal fees for you stiff and escape? That's the question. And right there is where I'm going to say good night and goodbye for now. And I'll see y'all in episode 5. Later, y'all.